Right.
Yeah, there should be another one of us here, but he's just moved out and he's waiting for his fridge to arrive.
Right. But where's he moved to?
Shepherd's Bush.
So you classify London as home now?
Yeah,
Well,
we had somewhere nice to live. Don't.
we're even getting sick of it now because we've been here for a wee while. You know.
Well, perhaps you could just fill us in on a bit of the background of the Cocteau twins. When did you first start?
3, 4
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
When?
We
Where?
started
Yeah,
about,
where and when?
yeah, about 4 years ago I was in Scotland, in a small town where we came from, called Grangemouth. Wait a minute, I've got to take my pills.
Signs.
Got my fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, Grangemouth. Lovely place.
The hub.
Centre of the universe, I think.
And you both grew up in the town, did you?
Oh yeah, it's such a sweet place. There's all these, the scenery is sort of incredible. Do you know the great big country? Have you seen sort of recently the advertisements for the LP?
I haven't seen the video. I've seen the ads for the LP.
Steel Town, and there's this great big sort of industry place in the background. That's Grangemouth.
Right.
That's where we come from. That place.
You used to work in the BP, didn't you?
I did indeed. I used to make petrol.
That's what it all is, you see. It's the BP.
Yeah, so Stuart Adamson's actually, I think, my 5th cousin, because believe it or not, because my ancestors left Scotland for Australia in 1838 or something, and they came from Dunfermline. Their surname was Adamson, and Stuart Adamson's family have always lived in Dunfermline since the 17th century or something. So I spoke to Stuart briefly, and he said, we talked about this, and said, we must be related somewhere, 5th cousins or something like that.
God.
It was quite amazing. It just sort of came up by chance. Anyway. Did you have any classical training musically?
No.
What was the prompt just to get you interested in music?
I don't know.
There was always a guitar in the house from when Robin was really small.
But nobody could play it, so I started to play it. But the thing that started us sort of
Actually
playing together would
boredom,
be sort of, just being sort of bored shitless all the time. And with sort of, I don't know, punk music and things like that.
Yeah, that inspired us.
That's what sort of started us off.
That's what it was getting.
That would be sort of after that, but it takes you a little while to get yourself together, doesn't it?
But when you first started working together, did you have any aims that you sort of said, we want to do this or this? Any aims?
Oh. No, we didn't sort of.
We didn't.
We just wanted to be good. We just wanted to get better all the time.
When we started, the first sort of year of our existence, we played a lot, but we didn't actually play any gigs. We just played for ourselves, really.
We didn't really. I mean,
There was never sort of wanting to play gigs or anything like that. Didn't want to.
At the time, it wasn't sort of. We weren't really thinking about how many people would get to hear us, or we weren't thinking about anything like that because we were just playing for ourselves and.
Not thinking about records or anything.
Yeah.
Right. And Garlands was the first album that came out in 1982.
Yeah, 1982.
Was there anything else before that came out?
No, that was the first thing we did.
And did you do a Peel session before that, or was that just after?
No, well it might have been sort of, I don't know, it might have been after we recorded it but before it came out.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So, do you think he was fairly instrumental?
Now, the way that we got sort of involved before your day, it was thanks to some sort of it was Australians.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? No, we used to like the birthday party a lot when they first came over here. And we were the ones that clapped, you know. There's two of us.
Like everyone was sort of.
And we used to sort of follow them about, and we got to sort of know them a bit. And they put us on to Ivo at 40 Day, because they were on 40 Day at that point. And we just made a sort of little tape. Well, we made 2 tapes. And I went to London with them, and I gave one to Ivor and one to John Peel. And John Peel wrote us back a nice letter saying he thought it was really good and everything. And Ivor sort of phoned us just when we got home and said, "Hey, you want to come and make a record?"
Right. How did you feel about that?
Oh, it was good. It was we were so sort of naive and into what we were doing so much though that we almost sort of expected, you know.
No, because we weren't really thinking about
Did a bit,
it. We
sort
just
of expected that, you know, of course we're about to make a record. We're fucking good, you know, no trouble.
I can't actually remember.
Oh, it's a
feeling
radio interview, isn't it?
No, that's fine.
like going from sort of sending out a tape to get a record deal or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember feeling any different. I can't remember because you must have changed.
It's like that was the only label that we was interested in because we liked some of the music that was sort of on it at the time. We didn't sort of like it much else, or we couldn't sort of picture ourselves for anything else.
Right. Do you? What do you think of the things that Nick Cave and his cohorts are doing now?
I like some of them. I think it's just a sort of shame, you know. Well, I mean, it's sort of. He's got to keep doing it, really. But it's past the sort of stage. It's just a big sort of parody now.
Did you go and see him live? Or have you seen him play live recently?
Yeah. There was some
the last
a few
time we
months
saw him.
ago.
Right.
No, it was earlier than that. It was way more recent than that.
It was a few months ago.
So,
They played it last year, we went along there.
Oh, yeah.
A wonderful jacket. Must get
Hell
one
of a
just like
jacket.
it. Yeah. We was rehearsing next door
It was
to him.
wonderful.
He was in the studio in
awesome.
Camden. And we sort of, every time we stopped playing we could hear sort of Hey Jude and things coming from the rehearsal room next door. Wild.
Just looking at my notes here. Your music, it's fairly personal, isn't it?
I don't know, is it?
Well, it seems to be. I mean, that's the kind of impression that one gets.
It would be if we didn't make records and kept it all to ourselves.
Yeah, you don't really enjoy talking to the press that much, do you? I mean, there's been nothing much written about it, and you're almost as if you're reclusive to a certain extent.
Well, we don't do a lot of interviews just for the sort of reason that everybody just sort of always screws it up. I mean, I don't know what every other sort of group in the world's like, but when we talk to people, we just sort of talk to them like, you know, somebody you know or something. You sort of tell the truth, and it just hurts so much to sort of have to do that when you read it, and it's just a lot of lies and misquotes, and they take bits out of context and make something out of them or anything like that. It just really sort of hurts, you know. I mean, if it's different if you sort of put a front on and you've got a sort of you know, a manifesto to stick to. You just talk about such things and you want to talk about blah blah blah. But I don't know. It all seems a little unfair.
Really. You don't really have any control over it. You can only sort of be what you are or whatever in an interview. And they just, you know, it's entirely up to them.
Do you think that people take much notice of what gets printed in some of the magazines?
It does when there's sort of something. Like for instance, there was a quote in one of my magazines we did an interview for. It said, "Oh, we all take lots of drugs, right?" And that's what it read. That's what it read. That's what it read like. And you know, anybody that sort of read that, I mean, if there's somebody young read that or something, think, oh, they take drugs, I think I'll give it a try too or something. But in actual fact, that was sort of said as a sort of joke, because the question had been, well, what do you think of this sort of goody nice image that you've got and everything? We go, oh, fuck off, we take drugs, that sort of thing, you know, just sort of a laugh. But as soon as it's down in writing, you know, that sort of looks completely
Didn't
different.
give any indication of how it was said.
It didn't
like
sort of
that.
say, we take drugs, they joked, and all that sort of thing. Just, you know, it's bad. People just sort of do that. I don't know why.
I guess they like to think they've got some form of power, you know, that they go on, and I suppose in some respect they have. How do you go about constructing your music? I mean, it's obviously fairly layered, but what do you start off with?
It depends, really. Depends completely. Generally, sort of, I don't know, just anything. It varies.
Do you look to particular things for inspiration or not?
As far as what the music's concerned, or the words, or
music.
the lyrics. No, it's just play. Yeah.
We don't get to play very often, you see, really. We don't get to write very often.
You just spend so much time doing interviews, you know.
So,
I think sort of around about, is it 2 weeks on Thursday? Like, I get to play my guitar 2 weeks on Thursday.
That's what it's like, really.
Right, you enjoy playing live?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a different sort of thing altogether though from being in the studio. Because when you're in the studio, you're actually doing something positive and creating something new. Something sort
It's
of
just total
spontaneous.
concentration when you're in the studio.
Because the way that
You just go
the
ahead
way
and
that
do
we-
it because
yeah, I think I can answer this now. The way that we would usually structure a song would be the start of the Simon as well, you must remember, but he's been a bit quiet just now. He won't sort of say much. We'd sort of probably start the drum machine or something, program it, get a nice sort of basic thing, and then play along with it. Just play along with it, yeah. I'm getting a bit screwed up.
Oh, my dad uses his hands all the time.
Really?
Shut the fuck up, right?
Just not Italian.
anyway.
It's Italian descent, because the Italians are really good at that, aren't they?
So anyway. Oh, it doesn't seem half as graphic without the hands. But anyway, we put the drum machine down on the tape, right? A guide drum. Usually start with something like piano or bass, because that gives it sort of film structure to sort of build up on. But then recently, when Simon's been sort of working with us, we've been trying sort of actually playing together. Try to make things up together, which is different completely. It's always a bit of a pain, because when we go and play live, you've got to take the record along the rehearsals and play it and try and sort of figure out, you know, because everything's usually on sort of first takes and things. Just sort of making it up.
Right. Lyrically, a lot of people would get frustrated by the fact they can't actually understand what you're saying. I mean, how do you respond to that kind of, I suppose, a criticism?
I think I feel a bit sorry for them. I feel sorry for me as well. I don't know. I just wish they'd take advantage of it. You know, they could really use that.
Right. Well, the fact.
Stop being so narrow-minded.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, well, just because I haven't sort of had anything like that before.
Well, I
it's
could
like
be
they're
singing
sort of
anything.
blinkered.
I mean, I could be singing things that they would be sort of really against, like I could be raving on about Hitler or something, you know.
Oh no, I can just see that now. I rave on about Hitler. Quote, that's the sort of thing that happens.
Oh.
Cocteau twins are fascists.
But
No, I mean, it's like, you know, it's I mean,
It's
I'm
not
not
the
saying
be-all and
it's
end-all of a
I'm not saying
song.
it's sort
lyrics.
I'm not saying it's sort of radical or anything like that, but in the 50s and everything, when people first heard sort of rock and roll music, they sort of, at first they sort of go, oh, you know, get that away, it's just not right. I'm not saying it's anything like that, but it's similar sort of reaction that people take to it, because they haven't sort of heard anything like that before, they don't want to know. In actual fact, if you listen to it very closely, you can make out every word she says. It's not usually the actual words that's difficult to make out. It's just because they're not always sort of everyday words. The words are sometimes quite unusual, but they're all sort of English words and everything. A lot of people say that she speaks, you know, Hungarian and all that sort of fucking thing.
Yeah, or my mum said, oh, that sounds like really old English. Like the oldie worldy.
Some of it's old Scottish words and things on treasure, but you hadn't used much Scottish ones before that, had you?
No.
And do you pick a lyric for the way it sounds, or does the word actually have to sort of have some meaning?
It varies. It just depends on the word. Depends if I like the word so much just by looking at a word, and it doesn't really
Could be the
go
actual word
with
that inspires
other words I want to use,
the
or
rest of it.
if it doesn't actually I mean, not everything pieces together, but I don't see why I shouldn't use something if I like it so much, I'm obsessed with it, I'm going to have to use it to get it out of my system, because I like words.
So you sort of see it as a purging of yourself when you actually record something. You feel that you have to get it out of your system before you can be content or whatever?
Well, yes, I suppose so, because, well, that's when something inspires you like that, you know.
It's just sort of interview we like, you know. This is like, you're saying all the things and she's going, yes, no.
That's wonderful.
We spent 7.5 hours speaking to NME the other day, and the guy's line of question was sort of, why? Why what? You know, it was just so vague. And we said absolutely nothing, because he was just giving it all these things like, why do you do this?
Who was that with?
It was Danny Kelly.
Oh, Danny.
And he was, it was really sort of, you know, it was so vague. It was like the whole interview was talking about
based
this
around it.
And we didn't know what it was.
And he didn't know what it was either.
And it was like, oh, it's pathetic.
I mean, I don't know how he's going to write it all out.
I think what you would say in your trade is it's going to be extremely bad copy. Unless he just sort of makes something up or something like that. Which has happened the last time we spoke to NME. Yeah, anyway, Carol. Oh, it's okay.
When did it come?
It didn't.
It didn't?
No. I ran up something not supposed to be sent for an around tomorrow morning. Yeah. Never mind.
Oh, I guess we can't talk about it anymore.
Well, at least we've got something down on tape about it.
Right, so far away. Like I said, so cool from Baktabak Grove. An hour's walk just about.
This is Simon.
Hi, I'm Doug.
That's so straight.
Yeah. In case we'll better fill you in a bit, we're in the middle of a radio interview, but some Australian thing where he's featuring an LP and everything, and got a little interview going.
Right.
And that sort
I
of
lost the
thing.
lens this morning again.
Not again.
Like the last time I went, this was about 3 or
Last
4
time she
weeks
dropped
ago
it
or
down the
something.
toilet, I had to fish it out. Is this it, honey?
I ripped
No.
it accidentally.
Is this it?
He said, when I went, he said, you must be taking them out a bit too vigorously, dear. You know, simmer down, you know, be a bit more light-fingered in future. So, of course, I was sort of, you know, really, I didn't want to do anything nasty to them, so of course I got to take it out all nimble-fingered and stuff. And of course I went to spray it with my aerosol and it went shooting across the other side of the room.
Aerosol?
Yeah.
Is that what you do with it?
Yeah, you have to spray it to get all the nasty stuff off it so you can put it in your eyes, see?
So it's on the floor somewhere?
I don't know where it is.
Right, fair enough.
Are they soft ones or hard ones?
Soft ones.
Yeah? Oh, more coffee.
God,
Who was your
fucking
first
hell.
phone call from?
Don't even much this vending business.
Was
Got to share
it?
one coffee between four.
I had about 6 last night.
So what's it like then?
Well, it's absolutely bare at the moment.
If you've got an extension in the toilet.
Like,
When it was
you
the
just put it in the bath. Yeah. Mental.
What?
It's illegal.
Is
It's
it?
a telephone extension.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not meant to be there.
Right, I
What
know
did you
what you
think
mean
of
now.
it?
I do an extension in the toilet, I was thinking from the bath. What is this? So, you can do it when you're in the bath.
Anyway, sorry. Domesticated rubbish.
Right.
So whereabouts the new flat's in where? Shepherd's Bush.
Shepherd's Bush, yeah.
Okay, so moving over to. So yeah, well, how did you first come to be involved with Robin and Elizabeth?
Well, we, I think I might have said this before somewhere along the line. Yeah. Well, we met at a gig. So I'd known Ivo for quite a few years. He's the bloke that runs the record company. And what? And we'd arranged to go to see a band called Felt.
Yeah, I know. Morris D. Bank, yeah.
Basically, like he introduced me to Robin and Liz there, and we sort of had a few drinks, and then a few more, and then quite a lot more.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what happened. We sort of ended up in a studio, but by accident.
Because he lied to us. He says you can come and rehearse at the studio, he says. And then he wouldn't let us rehearse.
No, it was a bit of a misunderstanding, which we won't go into just now. And well, after that, they just sort of said, "Would you want to come and do some recording?" And that's how it all happened, really.
Right. So in fact, the three of you are now Cocteau twins. Is that right? I mean, you're a fully paid up member.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. This Mortal Coil. How did you all get involved with that? First off, Robin.
Ivor asked us.
Right.
That's all.
Well, he just came to you with a song and said.
Yeah, it's his baby. You should have been here last week interviewing him because he was doing his interviews last week.
Yeah, I've spoken to Ivo about it. I mean, not in a sort of official interview situation. I thought it was actually quite amusing the fact that Ivo was sort of doing interviews. And
Yeah, it's quite funny.
I mean, especially the way that he slags us and insults us for sort of every time we do an interview, and then we moan when we sort of read it afterwards and go, "Oh, this is a bunch of lies." And he's been sort of reading some, he's going, "I never said that. I never said that." So it's sort of like,
Yeah.
He did one on the radio. Like the first one he'd ever done, I think, was on the radio. And we taped it, and we were rehearsing the other day, and we played it because he hadn't heard it. We played it as he walked in the room. Heard it through the PA. And we turned it on really loud.
Oh, I had reverb on it as well.
He's running
It's
around
really
and stuff
boomy.
like
it's like the voice of God.
Yeah,
It's like the voice of God.
Right.
It's very funny.
But that he just came to you with songs and you did them, because I mean, Song of the Siren was probably
That was
everybody.
my tummy.
You must be hungry.
Tummy.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean, we'd sort of been, I don't know if we were sort of quite close to Ivor. We'd been living with him for months and things like that.
Mhm.
Just because we had nowhere else to go and he offered. Yeah.
What kind of letters do you receive from fans? Did you get much sort of fan mail, if you like to call it that?
We
Or
don't
people-
actually get as much as we used to, do we?
That's only because we never write back.
That's not true. That's not true.
I've got a big pile in the house. Yeah, we've got a big pile in the house of ones that we have to write back to, about that size, because we always answer back to them.
We
We've got a
do.
big box about that size to write back to.
Yeah. So what kind of people write to you? Is it completely across the spectrum? Or
Yeah, completely across them. sort of, you know, I'm 38 and I've never written to a man before. This is my first ever fan letter. I just like to say I think you're blah blah. I'm a 14-year-old girl, you know. I think Elizabeth's
I'm listening to your records and going and do my O levels and things like this.
Right.
16-page chronicles of their life. It's quite sweet.
Right. Treasure, the new album. All of the album song titles. How did you come up with those? Are they just names that you liked that you would assign to the tracks? I presume Ivo is dedicated to Ivo or for Ivo.
Well, all of them are, I suppose. We just. I just like that name. I wanted to use that name.
I don't know, it just seemed a bit sort of...
I wanted to use that name. Oh, that
because of the way that
terrible.
your songs are structured, that particular group of songs, it'd be silly to sort of call the songs, you know, just by a line out of them. A line out of each one or whatever like that. That'd be a bit silly. Because of the way that the vocals have been sort of structured, it's all patterns and things as opposed to verses and choruses. They just seem sort of right. And we could have called them anything, just listen to idea, called them people's names. I mean, originally they were just going to be, there were no titles at all. But then we thought, oh, how the fuck are we going to get my publishing money and my PRS and everything then? I better get titles. Get titles.
What track is it? Otterly. It sounds, well, when I first heard it, it sounded almost like bits of Tubular Bells. Had you been listening to that before have you listened to that? Tubular Bells?
I've heard that.
I've never heard that.
It's good.
Yeah,
As far as I can remember.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just a couple of the chord changes and the way that the is it the guitar is put through a chorus or that kind of. Anyway, the sound is. I thought was. I thought maybe they've been listening to my old film.
Oh, yeah, Tubular Bells. That must be one of the biggest selling records of all time. I've never heard that. Of course, that was the first one on, wasn't it?
Yeah, that built this place probably.
Was it?
Yeah. What did you do before you were in the Cocteau Twins?
What, musically? I was in another group on Situation 2. And then
You know, we used to wear pink jackets.
yeah, we were glammed up for it.
What group was it?
It's called the Drowning Craze,
Okay.
which I'm sure you've never heard of.
No, I've heard of them, but not heard any music. So
Oh,
I haven't been in this
that's
country that long, 2 years.
Yeah, it was quite a long time ago.
It was very good because we liked them when they had the records out. And this was like when Ivo introduced us, he goes, "Oh, this is Simon from the Drowning Craze," and so I went, "Oh, we bought all your records, man. Can we have your autograph and all that sort of thing?"
So it's a mutual admiration society, isn't it? Do you plan to do like a full-length tour of Britain? You play lots of places. Does that kind of thing interest you or not?
No, not a bit.
No.
No, when I say not a bit, sort of next week we're going to play 8 gigs in a row. 3 of them are in London now. That's not so bad. No, we've actually went through that before. We played 46 date tour with OND, all about Britain and Europe, and that's just sort of 1983, beginning of 1983. Hear that?
It's sometimes difficult to know whose tummy it is that's doing it,
Went
actually.
for curry last night.
Oh, don't!
That was
Oh
good.
my God.
Right, anyway, yeah. So just sort of after that tour, or just sort of the end of that tour, we actually finished it early, so it was almost at the end of that tour. That's when my other bass player buggered off. So you could say that touring's not very good for the sort of groups, really. Coffee, go get some coffee.
I think you should go and get the coffee, actually.
Go on, because we want to talk about you.
I know.
I mean, I can go and get coffee and you can go and talk about me.
Oh no, we shouldn't.
No.
What's happened? What have you done that before?
Oh no.
I got interviewed once,
God, I just remember what I said.
and the guy sort of, we finished the interview. The guy was just doing it with a little Walkman, and he sort of went like this. He goes, "Well, I'm just going to the toilet now. Just sort of wait on me." And he switched his Walkman on.
He
And
had it off for about 10 minutes. He said that's the end of the interview.
yeah.
You know, and
He sort of went
I'll be
out
off
there.
now. I'm just going to the loo. And he had the
Switched it
Walkman
on.
in his hand, and he walked over. It was in Ivo's house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he just switched it on as we went out of the room. And then we were talking about it. Go, what a wanker.
Oh no, that's not true.
It is. We
Yeah,
did.
we did it.
It isn't, because you left.
And I saw the little light and I ran across.
Because I started talking about the swordfish. The swords of these fish that I'd just bought, and I was going, do you like them? Do you like
What
them?
do you think of these two then? You know, and they'd been the sort of journalist and the interview with the
Oh
photographer
my
and
god,
that.
and of course he started
What do you think of
shaking,
these
trying to
two?
attract my attention because he thought I was talking about that as
This-
well. Because I was talking about these fucking swords. Oh,
It's okay.
Oh, no.
how embarrassing. Oh, no.
Oh no, I think I was talking about the swordfish just now, Robin.
Edit.
Testing.
Oh,
That's that
no.
fucking thing. That's really sort of cheeky, that. I mean, that's really horrible.
Well, I mean, you know,
Never mind.
you must have wanted to know what we were really like. That's what
So
we were really
anyway.
like.
Have you got any ambitions, like long-term ambitions? Either personal or for the Cocteau twins?
Yeah, I suppose we must have, really.
Which are?
We'd like to get somewhere to live,
Yeah.
somewhere good to live,
Like to
somewhere
get
that we
set up
can,
so we can
somewhere
sort
that we can have a studio
Yeah.
at, right?
Mm.
Because we sort of got one, but it's
It's
sort
in
of
someone else's house.
it's in somebody else's house, right?
Um,
I'd personally like to see a bit of the world, because when you're in a group, it's about the only time you can go around the world without having to pay for it.
we still want to make the record as well that we're always going on about.
Yeah.
The record, haven't you just made it?
The
Yeah,
record.
what do you do after Treasure? Because I mean, it seems almost as if it's too perfect.
No, you
Yeah.
just forget about it and,
Yeah.
It's no.
But where do you go from here? I mean, what
It's easy. But
what's the progress? I mean, how do you progress from here?
Well, you just don't think about it like that.
Mm.
You don't think,
we
cool,
don't.
you know, we've made Treasure now, what the hell are we going to do? I mean, it's nothing like that.
Mm.
It's more a case of, well, you know, we've learned a bit from that one.
I think-
we want to do something better.
I think
now.
we don't have too high an opinion of that record, at least personally. I don't. I mean, it's good, but I know that we can do sort of, you know, light years better than that. And we will, eventually.
How do you feel?
See,
when-
we don't sort of sit about and go, you know, right, let's make a record that's sort of like, blah, you know, let's make this record a definite move on from such and such. We just, when we go to the studio, we don't have any ideas or anything. We just go and just do it.
How do you feel? Well, what's your reaction when you listen to Garland's now, or don't you listen to it?
Well, we don't listen to any of this. I haven't heard any of these for ages.
Well, I had to listen to it because I had to learn a couple of them. And
Yeah,
it was
you can never
actually
really
it was
listen
it
to
was
songs when you're rehearsing.
it was good
Learning
because
them again.
it did capture something, because that was the first record and stuff.
Mm.
So there was, I mean, I don't know what was there. I don't know what's on it. I can't describe what I felt when I heard it again.
Mm.
I did cringe as well, though. There was definitely a lot of nasty bits on it.
What?
We was in the studio doing a couple of backing tapes a few weeks ago, and we were playing these old multi-tracks, and we were just going, what is that? What's that? And it turned out it was 12-inch of Pearly Dewdrops drops, and I just sort of forgotten all about it. We never done it or anything like that.
Listening to it.
Well, strange. Just sort of, you know, no recollection whatsoever.
Mm.
Is that us, Simon?
But what are some of the places that you'd like to travel to?
Oh, Australia, isn't it?
Mm.
No,
Yeah.
actually, we're planning
Yeah.
on coming to Australia this year.
Japan.
No, next
Australia,
year.
Japan, the two big
What
ones.
to play live or just
Yeah.
to see the place?
Play. Well,
We're
we've
not
been
going to
talking
playing the bus.
with our agent and and he's been saying that we could maybe go back to America and play some there, and then from America go to Australia, play some there,
It's going to be
do a
quite
couple in
fun.
Japan, and then go home. That'd be really good.
We have to do them all in one go, you see.
Right.
So
Because it's
otherwise
too expensive, otherwise.
Right.
Don't want to sort of start doing it until we know that we can do it without losing lots of money, because we don't have lots of money to lose.
Yeah. I mean, the album is what, number 20, 28 this week? 28, 29?
52.
No, it's gone
It's
down.
gone down, has it?
50 something.
Yeah, you don't want to get interviewed then.
I know, of course I do. So you, how many dates do you anticipate doing in America? Because I mean, touring across America is sort of well known for testing any bands.
Yeah, we're gonna do 4. I think that's it.
Last time we went, we played 3.
It was good. Well, the gigs were good. People reacted really well. Yeah.
I think we'll end up doing about half a dozen in America.
Right.
We didn't go to the West Coast last time, we just stayed on the East Coast.
I'm dreading it.
In fact, we just stayed kind of a little bit the East Coast.
Yeah.
Especially after what I said about them.
What's
So what
that?
did you say about them?
Oh, well.
What, the Americans?
Oh, they're just so wild, those people. I just couldn't get to grips with them. I thought, oh,
They're so bizarre.
it nearly broke
The
me.
most, the
Three
most
gigs of it.
undignified race in the world.
Don't.
They got no dignity whatsoever. I mean, can you walk down the street wearing sort of
Teddy bear earmuffs
teddy
on?
bear earmuffs? I mean, everybody's. Me and Liz are walking down the street and everybody's going, "Wow, Wilbur, look at these, look at these sort of wild people." And they all got fucking teddy bear earmuffs on and all this
They
stuff.
were really wild
I
people.
mean, come on,
They
there's
really
there's
were.
something wrong there somewhere.
Whereabouts was that? In New York?
Yeah.
Whereas
It was in New York and Philadelphia, that's all we went to.
we met about 3 brilliant people, didn't we?
Yeah, we met a few
They were
people.
brilliant, and that's because they weren't very American.
Mm. Yeah, I went to America at the end of September. I went to Indianapolis, and they're rednecks. I mean, they're just, it's unbelievable what they're like. I mean, they don't believe in walking anywhere. I mean, they'll drive, 200 yards to go to the shop, get in their car. The whole thing is so automobile oriented.
Seems like my brother-in-law.
Unbelievable.
You know, my fucking brother-in-law got in the car. I can't. I mean, I'm not very good at distance. I couldn't sort of give you an idea of what the distance was. But he was going to the ice cream van. He got in the fucking car and drove to the ice cream van. Got out, got his business, got back in the car. I can't tell you how short it was. It was
20
very
yards.
short. I'm not joking. It's like incredible. And he had to go a longer way. Like, this is just like you had to cross a road, and he was in a sort of cul-de-sac bit. And he had to go all this roundabout way just to get to this fucking ice cream van. And if he'd just got out and just walked across the road, he would have been at the ice cream van. It's incredible. It's incredible.
When you play live, what kind of response gives you the most pleasure?
Well, definitely ones where everybody's sort of paying attention to what we're doing and people haven't sort of got Walkmans on and reading books.
No, I mean, do you,
No,
where people actually like go?
people respond. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't
I mean,
matter whether it's good
if
or
they- if
bad.
they
I
sort
mean,
of-
well, yeah, I suppose it.
I mean, if they sort of clap and cheer,
Matters if we're
that's
good or
good.
bad, really.
Yeah.
Right.
If they clap and cheer, that's good. If they throw things at us, I mean, at least it's sort of provoking some reaction.
Have you ever had things thrown at you?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Really?
Yes, we've played hundreds of times, We've done it all. Yeah. No,
We've done the slog.
the worst thing is if there's just sort of
It's just
no
fucking
reaction.
standing there. That's really bad.
if
That's
it's
horrible.
just like
It's
when
also really
when you're sort of playing away and you see all the people sort of talking to each other and
bad.
walking away to the
That's
bar
why
and
I
going
really
to the
hate
toilet and
people
everything.
talking when you're playing. It's really rude. And it's also when you've played really, really chronically and you're just sort of on the verge of suicide when you walk off stage.
Yeah,
Everyone's
everybody
going
comes up,
mad.
yeah,
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
That gets
You
you
know, a
really
religious
angry.
experience.
The whole thing was fucking completely out of tune all night. Simon had the wrong set list, so he'd be playing the next song when we were playing the other ones. All that sort of,
Oh,
It'd just be so bad. And
But it's
that's usually
horrible
the
too when
ones that
you
everybody
play
say are
for
the
the gig.
best.
and everyone thought it was just awful, and they never want to see you ever again. They're never going to listen to your records ever again because they thought you were rubbish. And
Yeah, you
thought,
come off
it
stage
was
going,
great.
hey, everybody, that was fucking great, wasn't it?
Oh, I didn't know.
Well,
I didn't think that one was very good at all, actually.
See you around.
Yeah, I've got to go now.
Bye.
Have you got a manager, or do you manage yourselves?
Yeah.
Don't be managed.
We don't manage. We just don't manage.
You haven't got somebody
Yeah,
who
no,
like,
no.
takes their 15% or something and does things for you?
Nobody will do it. 15%, nothing's nothing.
Ivo does a lot of work for us, and
He tricks us. He says, you go along to Virgin on Monday to do an interview. Yeah, sure.
free Knickerbocker glories already.
So it ends up with 6 interviews, and photographs and things like that.
There's what?
6 interviews
And
photographs.
photographs.
Yes. Found out last night. Never mind.
They didn't tell you beforehand. It's ridiculous. I mean,
Well, that's nothing.
well,
That's nothing. Let's not start
Did anyone
griping
ask?
about
Did
our
anyone ask
record
any of
label.
those? I was so preoccupied with
What?
other things. Other things.
what other things have you
Well,
preoccupied with?
Or just sort of day to day plus,
Mm.
doing the business. The bizzle.
Well,
Just
I don't know
living.
what she's talking about. I think she's making up. She's
Oh no. Who's making the coffee?
always start
Let's draw straws.
always sort of start griping halfway through an interview.
You
And it ends
mustn't
up,
gripe.
I end up bad mouthing everybody in the
You
business.
mustn't badmouth everything
So,
in the
and-
business.
are there any performers in the business that you actually look up in awe to?
Yeah, we love them all.
Yeah.
All of them.
Oh.
Anybody involved in show business, we love them all.
Hey.
We don't dislike anybody, at least we're not telling you because we might sort of bump into them one day or something.
That's terrible.
No, there must be some people you like more than others. I mean, are there any people that when they put something out or
David
make
Byrne.
Yeah, people with,
David Byrne.
a burn?
Very well, I suppose.
Mm.
Well, I don't know. I don't think about
There's,
him.
there's quite a few people that sort of are completely unknown and haven't even got record deals and things like that that we like.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yes,
yeah,
there is
look at-
that, isn't there?
It's
Look up
probably-
more to those people than the people that are supposed to be, the clever ones.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, I guess we don't really get time to listen to music a lot, really.
Mm.
I mean, you sort of put a record on where you're making a tea or something, but that's not exactly sort of sitting down and listening to
nothing
music the
new,
same way that
because
we
we-
Yeah, it's
perhaps
probably
used
just a
to do.
record from
The-
sort of a few years ago or something. that you
Because you haven't got the time to hear anything or see anything.
It's funny sort of being in contact with other, we've got this sort of, well, how do you describe him? Backline.
Oh,
Sort of a roadie, you could sort of call him. Sort of strange bloke, you know. But anyway,
I'm really
this,
losing
blue
faith
collar
in
worker.
I'm really losing faith in that.
yeah, anyway, calling her sort of faithful assistant, and he gets a lot more
Tacky
time to
bones.
sort of
Oh my
keep
God.
up with all the new bands and things that are
Mm.
coming out. So he's got a lot of friends that are sort of journalists and things, and he's forever going, "Hey, have you heard the new blah blah record?" Who? No, they'll play it and it'll be some god awful row. We'll be going, "Oh, this is a new thing," you know. Oh yeah.
Well, I think the Cocteau twins are original. I mean, as opposed to a lot of other bands around that aren't original. I mean, it's just sort of rehashing old ideas. And it seems that like there's very few people around that are actually doing something that's new and original.
I like him, don't you?
Oh no, it's true. It's true though.
Yeah, it's difficult because
It's different.
I mean you never get a chance to. I mean, if there are other things that are sort of sound new or whatever you're trying to say, I mean, where do you hear them? Where do we hear them? Because we just don't get the chance.
It's
Suppose we
ridiculous,
just,
isn't it?
Sure, there are some
We're
good
saying
groups
these
around.
things
probably.
to each other, like you're saying how good we are. And, I mean, oh God. Listen to this. I mean, I think you're really original. And how do you feel about that?
You don't know that yet
It's
because you've never
incredible.
heard this radio thing. No.
No, I'm just
But-
sort of.
It's terrible, you know.
Someone's saying things to you like how great you are, or how indifferent they feel about you, or how much they
It's
don't like you.
I mean, you couldn't sort of provoke us into saying, oh yes, well I think we're really original because we're just so fucking good, you know, something like that. Because we're too close to episode of music to sort of realise if it is original or not. It's just sort of what we do.
It is.
Do you listen after you've made a record? Do you listen to it like at home and like incessantly after you've made it? Or
Yeah,
no?
never.
No.
Or you listen to test pressing and see if that's okay.
Then after
Usually
that, it's on to the
sick of
next
it.
one.
You're usually really
Yeah.
sick of the record by the time it comes out.
Then you have to go out and play it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's different because it's a different. I mean, it's a different thing
I mean,
altogether.
you know,
playing.
Sure.
Sort of, some of them I've even got just now.